We've been aiming for the past 3 weeks in Pmwl to know which teams will qualify already for the league play ready, even though we already basically know, but which will be our top 1, 2 and 3 teams in position to fight for that prize pool of the Super Weekend.
And I just love the fact that it's ending on the hollow grounds of Erangel. We say it time and time again. We start with Erangel, we end with Erangel. It is the bookmark to end all bookmarks. 15 points dividing the top 3 teams, Max.
That is nothing in Pmwl. That is one game, and it's going to come down to this last one. We'll have to see. Team ID going to be pretty happy about the fact that it's going to be going straight on over Sudnovka Island. Same for some Megastars as they can go over to Novo. Same for Bigatron also. But as we're going to see RRQ once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Going back to Pmwl to avoid taking a fight in Pachinki versus Nova Godlike.
I know that the storyline, the battle, the heart-pumping moments of this game will come down to the top 3, but 2 teams I'd like to highlight. One is Team IND. 59 points in 4 games today. The progression and the evolution of what was poor last week, I definitely want to highlight as a strength coming into the finals next week.
I think they've been a team that have definitely improved a lot and showed us what they can do, just like, for example, you level up and also Team Secret, so you've got to respect the amount of work coming out from all of these teams. The circle did pop up a little bit more over to the eastern side, but Monley is going to be going up north. You know, at least for a fact, it's not going to go onto Sudnovka Island, so Team IND and Megastars, there's no doubt in their mind they're going to have to cross on over the water.
And the second team I want to highlight is Valdez, the Murder. At the end of Super Weekend number 2, they were 64 points behind Megastars. Coming into this last game, they're 7 points. I've seen them really shine so much brighter, be more aggressive and be more cohesive throughout this last week. But anyway, like you said, River and Play. I don't want to ask for a prediction, but I'm going to because it's the last game. Where do you predict this is going to end?
Well, I predict right now is that more find a lot of trouble. You know what? They're going to go for the push onto Mato. It's been really low. Mato again, some really good fights. Team Secret. Oh boy, Morph, what is going on? 2 members knocked away, leaving 1 player extremely low. And that will be Zay. Does he even have a weapon? He's trying to play punches right now. I don't think this is the right game, but at the end, they're going to go for it. Bonk on the head. And you say bye-bye to Morph team.
Hello, darkness. My old friend.
That's me in high school right there.
I was like, here, look at me, see? So, once again, RQ dropping down, not quite by Primorsk because it's a little bit further away with an eastern plane path, but they've dropped by Ferry Pier. It's going to give them a really nice clean rotation with Team Secret, the only team really being on the southwest side, as you've seen them get a couple of kills onto Morph. Will they go to Everest again, or will they occupy to maybe go onto that compound by the side of the river on the west side?
I'd love to see, like, RRQ Athena, they can definitely have a lot of room on the western side. They can easily rotate next to Hospital, Gatka, George Pole, and try and rotate around there. So it would be really safe for them. Yeah. Just like really the first game on Erangel, right? It was a pretty similar circle for them. It did go in their favor quite a bit. They played on the edge as they like to do on the early stages if they have to. And it worked perfectly. They got a great position on the mountaintop. And yeah, hopefully this is going to be just a copy, paste, and repeat for them in this game.
Valdez, King of Gamers, and Orange Rock in their usual spots. Orange Rock are a little bit, just a tiny bit more easterly than having 1 member across the river on this kind of circle, but I think that's okay, depending on when they start moving. It's just like I'm thinking, our team's going to commit to the north of the river or the south of the river in phase 1, or is there any real need to commit at this early stage?
What you could do is just send a scout on over. You see Orange Rock do that time and time again, and I think that it would be a valid option to do that. Just send 1 player up top, get into the compound in the northern side, wait to see where the circle's going to shift. And it's not really too much of an issue. If you send 1 player on over and the circle goes back down south, you know what? You've still got players in the southern section. Send him back to the rest of your team. It's very easy to pull off, and I think it would be the better way just to make sure and make up for a very unfortunate circle shift just in case it happens.
Just keeping an eye. BTR are still down on the southwest side, outside farm. Galaxy Racer Celts in Milta. T1 are in Milta Power, as normal. You level up on Prison. I know, though, Max, we still have 4 days of finals next week. I know, but there's a little bit of a tear in my eye that we are getting to the end, that we are on the last game of the Super Weekend. These teams, all of these teams, have fought so hard over the last 3 weeks. Every single country they're representing, every single, org, it's amazing.
What are you trying to do right now, Imperium? Trying to make me cry? Is that what you're trying to do?
I am.
Trying to make me cry, Imperium? Yep. Who's got an onions over here? Who's the... No, it is definitely, it is getting closer and closer to the end, but at the end it's still, it's spring split. You still got full split.
I know.
We're only halfway through 2020.
I know, but still.
Cheer up, Imperium, cheer up. It's fine.
I'm fine. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, it's okay. But as I said, right, Megastars and Team ID, they're both going to have to rotate on over eventually. Bigatron, they haven't given up on the location next to the bridge. Even T1 and Galaxy Racer Cells could angle if they wanted to. Last time Bigatron left and T1 actually took the position, and it was just easy biddings for Megastars at the end for Vexy specifically. But yeah, a lot of teams, as we like to see, going to go pretty central towards Headshot Valley, as Blank and John like to call it. And it's an interesting position early on, because I think there's an area of which you don't want to really get involved with too heavily early on. But you know what? A lot of teams will try and get around that at least.
And this is what I was talking about with Orange Rock. After they initially looted that little bit of a few compounds to the south of school, they have decided to more head towards the northern edge of Watertown and that little compound across the road outside Rossock, which is a wise choice considering this Phase 1 circle. I also really like the rotation from U level up. They've actually sent themselves far more centralized into the circle just to the east of King of Gamers. They've
started being playing a little bit more, aggressive in repositioning, taking big points of control.
Taking more central,
I think that's been pretty nice on them. That's been one of the big points on which U Level Up has been improving, and I think that they deserve a lot of respect for that, as Galaxy Racer Cells just moving away of Milta. Bigatron going to be around there, but they know that, so they're still going to be trying to keep a very safe distance of where they might take a fight, but Rock's still going to be put under fire by Ryzen. The distance just a little bit too far, just hit one bullet with 22 damage. But there you go, they'll make it swiftly away in the distance, making it towards a more central position in the circle, which is how they like to play it around.
And I think that's a little bit of an earlier rotation from Celts that we might have seen in the past, and I think that makes sense, and it's part of the reason why BTR didn't really get a knock. That was a nice little flip. Because they weren't maybe as prepared on their positioning to catch out Celts. So that's really nice from the boys from India, as I say once again. We did see in the feed King Gamers get knocked down onto U Level Up, by the way.
Yeah, there was a little fight from the distance, but it's not really going to result in a full-on engagement war between the two teams, so we should be okay. But now teams are slowly going to try and make their way through. They delayed the circle rotation as much as they possibly could, and now they've got to make their way in. T1 specifically going to be the one doing so. But I think that Megastars and Team ID delaying it maybe a little bit too much, but they know, especially Megastars, they know how Bigatron like to play. They know that they don't want to stay on the edge of the circle if there's no need to. They already started to move on forward, and Megastars, they got the timing spot on perfect.
You can see Winter of U Level Up with that SLR. I love the sound of the SLR on the side now. I think it's a little bit tough to rapid fire with the recoil on the SLR, but I really love the way it sounds, at least for me. But then again, I'm a giant bot.
I prefer the Uzi, just
Uzi goes, bruh? Hey, I'm really bad at saying that. Okay, do you want to
Uzi go brrr.
There you go.
That's how it goes, Imperium. That's fine. But like, we're going to see a little bit closed off teams, especially on the southern western side. That's going to be Box Gaming. They did move away from Ferry Pier, and they are reading the circle really well. The playing path was mainly focalized center / mostly on the eastern side, and know that not a lot of teams will be there, so the safest way to get yourself in circle is through the west, and they're reading that perfectly.
Yeah, and there's even so much space in between RQ on the southwestern side of the circle and King of Gamers basically outside Rossock, where only Nova Godlike are still in Pachinki, so there's a lot of rotational space as the next phase is going to pop up.
Will the river be into play? Not too heavily, actually. It's going to be going mostly down south. On the eastern side, Megastars will do their rotation. Same for Team ID, so they'll make it back over to the mainland. But now the teams that were on the west, you got Team Secret, Box Gaming, RQ Athena, they're going to have to make their way through. I think that Nova Godlike maybe taking a little bit too long to rotate away from Pachinki and aim for center, but they might do it right now as they find the open between Team Secret and Box Gaming. What will be happening? Going to get the up onto Lewis. Nicked it with a car 98.
Oh, that's a spicy meatball of a shot. Right to the face. So good play coming out from Team Secret. Of course, they are now outside the circle. To touch upon your point with Nova Godlike, I would generally agree if it wasn't for the fact that Phase 1 was quite heavily up north. But now that's shifted down to southeast, they should move out, which they are doing.
Yeah, they'll do. They're actually going out of the circle a little bit. They're going to try and say hello maybe to Team Secret and Box Gaming, but Box, they lost that one player confirmed. Going to swiftly keep on going up north.
Are they going to try to...
They are. I think they're going to go highly up north next to shooting range, maybe, or at least the northern side of George Paul, because they know there's only one team that plays there, right? and that's going to be Udugank. Udugank already rotated into Rozhok, so that's going to make things even easier for them. I think that's one valid option to go, but really Box Gaming, I can't read what they're going to do here. I think that they are indeed going to go for the safer northern rotation. That would make a lot more sense in my mind.
And I do think Nova are possibly hunting RRQ. I don't know exactly what's going on, but we'll have to wait to see what does happen. As TSM rotate down south to right into the center circle, but BTR, one of the teams fighting in the top 3, are just a little bit down south.
Yeah. Just a bit close off teams once again in the center. One thing you got to keep in mind, right, is the fact that Synergy are not here. Synergy, they were a team that would always play an extra potato hill. That means their position is completely unoccupied. And one team that has some good amount of success over there, it was Team IND. They started doing actually pretty decent over there, and even RRQ Athena. So those are 2 teams that could try and take that position away and play a little bit of central around Potato Hill, because the amount of information that position can give you is actually huge if you use it properly, of course.
I was thinking RRQ more than Team IND simply because of the fact that I don't think Team IND have been as successful holding on to Potato Hill, but you make a really good point that they've at least tried. And but RRQ, like Box Gaming, are being extremely cautious. They're still on Pachinki Hill down on the southwest side of the circle. They are making, no mistakes. They're respecting every single millimeter and inch of this land, of this map, of this game.
I'm just also looking for rotation. So yeah, now to confirm, 100% Box did go for the more northern rotation down south of Fruiting Range. That's going to be taken under control. They're still going to have to cross on over the bridge eventually, but most teams, as we are playing the east, they like to go more central. So not going to have too much gatekeeping unless it's going to be for Valdus and also for Udugank.
And with Reject not playing, they should know that only TSM would have landed in Yasna and they would have moved down by now, so there could be a little bit more of space. But it's that lack of information.
Oh no, Drax. I was about to say, Drax is like getting very close to compounds that are most of the time occupied. You know that Valdus and you know that King of Gamers play around this area. I think he was a little bit, maybe trying to assume that teams might be here and he's going to be taken out of the game. So you've got to be careful about that one. But Valdus and King of Gamers holding tightly the northern side, and you've got to be very careful. But there's so much room down south of Yasnaya on the east. I think that you could facilitate your entire rotation just by playing the east at this point in time, at least.
I didn't mind you do coming straight down south and heading into Rozhok based on that phase 2 shift. There's more the fact that they kind of lost that scout off the back of it. But where is phase 3 going to go? It centers up quite nicely with the majority of the teams inside the circle. Once again, I feel bad for RRQ. They just can't seem to catch a break.
They had a circle magnet on the first game, and because it was in Primorse, they said, but at the end, the circle magnet is not going to work out for them, so they're going to have to do a big run for it with Team ID, Team Secret, and even Nova Godlike at this point. I said it, I wanted Nova Godlike to move a little bit earlier, delayed it a little bit, and they're going to have Team Secret on their tail, so they've got to be careful behind them as they might clash on the west.
It was a great circle shift for Box Gaming, right? Now they can just come in basically through the fields of Yazai and pocket themselves maybe to one of the really nicely positioned compounds to the southwest of Yasnaya.
There's even a plateau available where normally T1 like to play around, but this time they're just going to be way too fast. It could be easy pickings for Box Gaming. Some Mad Max style fighting will be happening so far with RQ Athena, Team ID, and even Nova Godlike, but they're going to try and get themselves around Potato Hill, which is the area I talked about where RQ Athena and Team ID got a little bit of experience, but RQ has been a little bit more successful.
Beer's being confirmed. RQ down to 3 players.
That's going to be very unfortunate for them. We'll have to see how that's going to be coming on through. But now RQ, they are going to be very careful about this one, trying to snake their way through. But Team IND got multiple angles under control. So the way they're going to try and wrap around this fight versus RQ is going to be very intriguing. But I think that here, you might want to try and get yourself in circle very, very quickly, because the circle is already starting to try and get smaller around these squads and is tightening up. You want to move away right now as a... Oh, 420 OP hitting the shots with that mini 14.
Ernie, confirmed. RQ down to 2 players. They're scared. And is this a glimpse of what we might see in the finals, where teams are battling for that top spot, where there's that mental pressure, there's that lack of confidence, there's the uncertainty of what's going to happen, and they don't play their normal play style? It's really interesting, but RQ, they're under pressure.
Yeah, RQ really struggling into this one. But you know what? Oh, wait, D2E, even though he doesn't have the advantage, still going to take that 5 versus 420 OP, but the spray just doesn't quite connect. You know, there's another angle on the other side, but he's just going to be squeezing his way through those 2 players of RQ Athena. It's going to be way too far now. G9 will be taking the blue zone tick damage also, as Team ID keep the pressure down. RQ has been completely reversed, and I thought RQ were really deciding how that fight was going to break out, but you know what? Team ID reversed the steam in that engagement. It was greatly executed.
Tell you what was also greatly executed. The rotation from Udu Gank actually disengaging to the north of Roshawk, going across the river and coming in through the south of Yasnaya. We don't really see it, but I absolutely love it.
And they got himself into the Yasnaya Pollyanna fields down south. It's an interesting position. They might have to move away, so they've got to be careful about specifically box gaming and also about you level up. They've got a little bit of high ground and compounds available, so they know exactly where you are. So rotation on the next phase could be a little bit tricky for them, so they've got to try and keep that in mind. That teams know exactly where they are.
But the good thing is because they're in the fields, you're able to get information before rotating, before the next phase moves up. So however it shifts, like right now, where it does go down to southeast, they can instantly rotate to that compound on the northern side of the circle. So this could be a great opportunity for Udu.
I think the T1, they found the circle magnet in Milta Power this time. It's going to be going over hardly to the east. But now Nova, great spray coming up from Slayer, but unfortunately not quite enough bullets in the magazine to get rid of Raid of Nova Godlike. And they'll be able to make it over. The Team IND, I think that pushing uphill like that in a position of which was held by Nova Godlike was a little bit risky, but you know what? So far, they haven't suffered really big casualties whatsoever, so they can still make it out. But I love how Husta is trying to get a little angle, trying to push down to see if they can get a little bit of an upper hand onto Team IND. But RQ, the two-man push with a car, just sneaking their way past this engagement. They just don't want to take it,
Yeah, just avoid it all. Just let them fight each other out. That's why rotating through Potato Hill can be pretty good, because you can just avoid teams on the other side. So this could be a small glimmer of hope for the members of RQ. They're far from out of the woods just yet though, because they are still quite a bit away from the circle.
And there's a lot of teams down south. They're going to have to cross over a road. Also, you've got Morph Team, you've got Bigatron, you've got TSM Entity, even got T1 on the southeastern section. It's not out of the words. They must be holding their breath so far and see if they can find a position. But up the northern side, a lot of rotations especially coming out. Box Gaming, Valdez the Murder, You Level Up, and even Udu Gank. And I think we're going to have a crash of Udu Gank and especially You Level Up very, very soon, Imperium.
You Level Up reacted to that circle shift much quicker than you do. Therefore, they got the compound advantage. But now, Valdez the Murder going to join in on the fight.
Third party galore. Let's go. Grenade coming out from Godard towards Udu Gank, and a grenade of Velmoth will be going towards You Level Up. They're taking two fights at the same time. We've got to say how hard that is. But if you do have good team communication and synergy, you can make it happen. Oh, they're just leaving. No, okay, this is the mini mountain of Valdez the Murder. No one is going to contest that whatsoever. Valdez, that amount of pressure was huge.
I'll credit Udu for disengaging away, realizing, hey, look, we've lost a player. Let's not lose again. Although Fredo's gone a little bit closer, returning fire, maybe going for the back line, as Nova Godlike are eliminated.
Yeah, that will be the last time we see Nova Godlike as they get confirmed out of the game. They will not be making over to the league finals, so it was good having you guys, but we'll see you later in a full split at the end of the day. But now, You Level Up, you're still holding on to their little compound. They're going to get pushed by Valdez the Murder really soon. Grenades will be the way to make it happen, because you know that Valdez, how they play, if they get one knockdown or two, that is when they fully send it to a compound breach.
Team IND going to be pinching between Team Seeker and Orange Rock. Team Seeker currently find themselves overall in 5th place, trying to get over into that 4th place position. They're only 20 or 21 points, should I say, behind King of Gamers with another chicken dinner. They could easily do it.
Yeah, they need a stonk of a game though, Imperium. They need some big position and big kill points if they want to just confirm the fact they can overtake that position away. Now Megastar's got to swag through the car, going to make the rotation. Snack's got a perfect angle. They spray it down and absolutely destroy Paradox. That was the last player of Megastars out in 15th. Now 14 players in this one. We're getting closer and closer to the Orange Rock and even Team Secret.
But the good thing is that has given a tiny bit of space for RQ to actually wrap around a little bit more in the southwest and put G9 into the circle, but TSM Entity are potentially camping them. When you look at Box Gaming, they're on the northwest, and BTR are the circle magnets as the next circle shifts up, and they're on the south tip just inside.
Bit of fight happening up north of the circle with Udu Gang, but the circle shifting actually to You Level Up and Valdez the Murder, so they're going to try and control all of that area. It's a pretty big plateau. Huge play from Orange Rock onto Team Secret. Destroy the car. Scout absolutely destroying TS. And now Rex will be left alone. Matoy was knocked out, so he's not going to be joining the party whatsoever. Orange Rock, they need to capitalize on this fight to make sure they can facilitate their rotation away. We still got one sneaky player of Team IND. Okay, I take that one back. He's going to be eliminated. Team IND go out in 13th.
Well, there is a Galaxy Racer sets that could potentially third party when they make their way across the road. But now as Mavi pushes his way through, it's just going to be Mad Toy wrapping around, coming in on the blue zone. What intelligent play! Mavi with the blue zone push takes down Team Secret.
Greatly done by Mavi. No, he just can't do some grenade pushes, but he's going to have some pushes, especially coming down the center. That's going to be Box Gaming getting eliminated right there in this game. They went first position. Things are getting more and more stressful. Things come by. Bigatron and RQ Athena still in this one, but man, this must be intense for the two remaining players. Bigatron and RQ, who might take this game?
I can confirm Box Gaming have scored 2 points from the last game. Now it's wide open for BTR and RQ to fight over the top spot.
Wait,
but we do lose our RQ. They're taken down. Now it's down to BTR.
RQ Athena, they got 1 kill so far, but they need more. Oh, they lose an extra player. G9, he's got to do the rush away from the way zone with the buggy, and he does make it out. But now Bigatron, they still got 4 players. They are control. They could take first position away, Imperium. This is huge.
I made a mistake. I thought our GQ and RQ were down and out, but they actually eliminated TSM Entity. The fight for the top remains strong.
Indeed, G9 going to make the rush for the circle, and Orange Rock was Gil and Mavi make things happen once again. 6 kills so far. Orange Rock again, a really good performance, but not playing the circle. They're going to keep on moving forward. Galaxy Racer sells, but RQ Athena, they get eliminated. Bigatron are left alone in the top 3 position, and they are fighting down in the southern section. Now they've got to try and gather as many points and kills as possible in this game. If they can do so, they might just steal the win.
I can confirm for now that RQ have only scored 5 points. That's all I'm going to say as BTR are counting their lucky stars. But I will let you know that right now, they've only got 1 kill. Right, there's still 7 teams left. That's not going to be the highest amount of placement points if they go out in 7th, so they're far from in the clear.
And they might just have to cross over the road and go downhill in the Valley area versus King of Gamers, Galaxy Racer Celts. Even You Level Up and Valdez the Murder have great position to fight on. Even T1 on the eastern side with the circle might decide the fate of Bigatron. Nice shot from Ultron. Patsy headshot. Bolte onto Mavi of Orange Rock as Orange Rock get eliminated. That was the last player up. 7th position. 6 teams still in play. Bigatron, this is their time because they've got to move on forward. They've got to cross on over. Bigatron, you have to take this game in your very own hands.
It's now or never as we track the fight between Valdez and You Level Up. The smoke's being thrown out as they try to make their way over the dip of the hill. I talked about how strong Valdez have played since the Super Weekend number 2. Will they be able to live up to the hype that I've set themselves up for?
I mean, Valdez had to crash this compound eventually. Their little mountain that they took earlier away was going to be in the blue very soon. So you know what? They have no choice. They have to try and take the fight over to You Level Up with still 4 players up for themselves. Velmoth was knocked away, but you know what? They're not going to try and go for the re-engage. They're not going to deny and flush that kill out. So Valdez going to try their best, but the grenades come out from Kamal. Now they've got to full send it. You Level Up. They're going to be sending 1 player. Jackson on the side to get a nice angle onto Godard. He's left alone in that specific area. You Level Up going to go for the engage. Godard put so damn low, and they get a triple knockdown. But oh my god, where's the last player so far? Valdez, he's still remaining behind. Not really bringing assistance over to his team, and they're down to only 1 player. That's going to be Martin.
That was a poor push from Valdez. I got what they were trying to do, leaving Martin on the back line, but at the end of the day, the way Valdez sent themselves in, they weren't able to bait You Level Up, and You Level Up are far more prepared. The circle does shift away from BTR. They're coming in from the south side. Across the road they go, but T1 are guarding them.
I'm pretty sure they have information on them. Not only that, this is also Galaxy Racer Celts and Boss, the last player of King of Gamers Club. As Velmoth gets taken out of Valdez the Murder, things are getting more and more set in stone as time goes by. But Luxy was sent actually over, just gathering information for the rest of their team before they full send, and now they know where they are. They're going to give information, sending 2 players of Bigatron over. King of Games get eliminated, 5 teams still in play. They're going to crash it into Galaxy Racer Celts, but MJ making things happen, but it's just not going to be enough. 2 members knocked away in that dip, but they are still alive and eliminate them. Valdez also take the L. We have 3 teams still in play, and Bigatron are still part of it.
They've got 3 kills. They were able to create some space. They saw that kill onto King of Gamers and knew that they had to strike while the iron is hot. We're down to the top 3 teams. We are in the golden moments where BTR will be able to secure that top spot. They still have a full squad up.
They were able to get the double res. That is huge. Imperium, you have to mention it. That could be the main reason as to why they might take this final chicken dinner of the Soup Weekend. Mecha Boy doing a run for it, but on an angle where Winter can't take easy shots with DSLR, and they make it low and low. Even have a little bit of that little crate in the center. This could be huge for them. The circle's going to be popping up really soon, and this might decide who will be the winner of this final game, because if Bigatron don't have to say the circle in their favor, they'll have to move away of that dip.
$50,000 US for first place, 25 for second as a circle shifts away from BTR, but there is a golden airdrop that can at least give some form of protection to BTR, but they have to move out of the little dip that they're in and right into the vision of you level up.
Bigatron, you have to show us and prove us why you are the world champions. This is your one time to shine. You're going to have to breach it, you know for sure. But maybe beforehand they'll have to take a fight versus T1 on the other side of that little mountaintop. Microboy with a grenade onto missile of T1. Down to now 3 players. Do they want to maybe try and capitalize on this fight and end it now? But oh my god, no! What happened there? Ryzen explodes in the face of Microboy. Oh, so unexpected, but another player of T1 who is indeed knocked away down to 2, Yeonjun and Saden, but the rest will indeed come on through. But Bigatron, they're going to send Luxy and even Zuxi a little bit closer into the circle. At least they got 2 players in circle. It's done, but ZZP eliminated also by the grenade of a player of you level up. Things are getting more and more intense. Imperium, who's going to take it?
Was that the grenade that blows up $50,000 US into the eyes of BTR? They've been able to recover. They've been able to get revived up, healed up, and has a full squad.
Pushing up slowly and surely. At least the entirety of Bigatron and T1 will be able to heal themselves up. But T1 lost 1 player confirmed, and now they're getting closer. That means the grenades could potentially connect, but Pmwl hitting the headshot to Missile. This man's getting bullied and knocked so many times, but Missile will bleed to his doom. Eliminated and confirmed by Zuxi. That's an extra kill. This will be extremely important for them on the long run, Imperium.
Also, BTR using the fact that they know you level up, have more of a sight line on T1, but just as I say that, Pmwl gets a knockdown on the Ryzen.
Still got 3 players, and normally maybe enough time to go for the res. The circle is halfway done. That grenade of Yeonjun getting really close to Zuxi, but a little bit too short on the throw, not cooked enough for them. But especially the high ground of Hyogzan is going to be huge, give them a lot of advantage, and especially information on where these teams are and how they're going to push. But now is the battle of snakes, Imperium for T1.
He's dropped the backpack. He's got the ghillie suit on. He wants to end the run of BTR, but another grenade by BTR puts Saden down to half health. All the while, you level up, still up as a full squad as Microboy gets knocked by Yeonjun.
If they don't have any more smokes, they used so many earlier to cross the road. If they have no more smokes, this might actually seal the fate of Bigatron into this game. But I'm seeing one smoke coming out. This might make it happen. The grenade's so close onto Yeonjun, but not quite able to get the knock. But the second will confirm it for Ryzen. Bigatron, these are kills that they desperately need.
So, Luxy, send the vehicle forward, put it into the circle, then blow it up, but all the while that will alert you level up. You level up and focusing. Young, T1 goes down, BTR into the top 2.
They got 6 kills, Imperium, and now if they can just confirm this chicken dinner, this should be completely okay. Our analyst desk over there is going to absolutely mental of how things are going so far, but you level up, still holding strong to their compound, but they've got to move on forward.
You level up as a full squad. BTR up as a full squad.
Oh my god. Bigatron, they got the smokes. The utility comes on 3 of them. You level up are trucking their own right now, so it's going to be ending into hand-on-hand combat into this one, Imperium. Grenade's very close to Luxy and Microboy, but they can't quite get it. But Hyogzan gets the nice shot onto the 1-player Microboy with the M4. Hyogzan, especially with that information from the rooftop, is huge. Gives him such a good amount of control on this map, and it's going to be turned into a 4v3. Ryzen going for the last second res. It's risky, but they're going to send Luxy forward with Dacia.
I called that. I said they needed to do that, and then Luxy gets a knockdown.
Winter just going to be a little bit tricky behind the crate, but will get knocked down by Zuxi. Still got 1 player that's going to be left alone. How are you going to be working around that one? It's Jackson just in the open right there. They're getting information on Bigatron. They end it on the final game where they needed it the most and secure the final.